Okay, the next little part of this phase 3 is morning movement. So by giving students a quick window of time to get their wiggles out first thing in the morning, you set them up for success during the instructional time. Resource alert. So I have created a playlist for you so that you already have one ready to go with good movement songs. This playlist includes the best songs to get kids moving with purposeful, energizing, appropriate songs that they're going to love. I recommend you spend 15 minutes each morning letting kids get their wiggles out before you ask them to sit and focus on learning material. And you'll see that adding this small chunk of time will make a huge difference for the rest of the morning. We always started our day off with morning movement because the kids have been sitting most of that morning time, riding in the car, getting to school, sitting at breakfast. So before we make them sit to learn, it's a good idea to let them get their wiggles out. The playlist I put together for you has all my favorite songs that the kids love every year. And there are some songs about body control. I'm about to play you a clip from one of my absolute favorite songs. It's by David Kaiser, and it's called Self-Control, and you want the toddler version. But this is a song that your kids will not be able to get enough of. But that's okay, because it's the perfect time to practice so many skills. Moving around the classroom without bumping into furniture or friends. Hold on, I'll play you a little clip from it.
I go fast, 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 fast is the way I go, and then I stop, put it on hold, I've got self-control. I go fast, 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 fast is the way I go, and then I stop, put it on hold, I've got self-control. I go slow, 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 slow is the way I go, and then I stop, put it on hold, I've got self-control. I go fast, fast, fast.
Okay, you get the point, but I always loved when someone walked into my classroom when I had this playing in the morning, because at first glance, it's like, what is going on in here? All these kids just running around the classroom. But once they stop and look for a second, they see that, yes, they're running around the classroom, but they're all moving so gracefully and no one's bumping into anything. They're keeping their hands to themselves. And then the song switches in an instant and they go slow, slow, slow. And everyone stops running and they go to this little stroll. And you kind of see like, whoa, they were actually totally in control the whole time. This is a really great thing for kids to get to do in the classroom in the morning. What a great thing to practice a few times a week. And what a great way to build your kids up and let them do this really fun song when they get to run around the classroom. Because why? Because they can handle it. This is just one example of fun things that your kids will get to do because you have a calm classroom. So you can get a little crazy with them because they know how to control their bodies and they know how to listen and follow directions quickly and do all the important things that we need our kids to be able to do. Okay, and for this one, I threw in this extra tip because I think you're going to love it, and it's definitely an extra way to throw some calm into a part of your day that might be a little chaotic. So this is a picture of a Montessori strategy that we adopted. When I first heard about this strategy, it made so much sense that there was no way that I couldn't use it. It was just a duh. Of course, we'll do that. So you can see the sit spots that are in the middle of the circle where we sit for a read aloud. And then it's kind of hard to see, but there's green shapes around that circle where we sit for circle time and movement. But if you look closely, you'll notice that I added a chalk line around the outside of the circle, and this is where the kids and I that's what we're walking on. So there's a balancing line that we practice carefully balancing on after we are done cleaning up. Like, what? Yeah, so I never really liked those loud, annoying cleanup songs that like somebody starts chanting, clean up, and then the whole room starts chanting it. Like, I just, stop. I always found those made everything feel more chaotic, and then like toys start slamming, and I didn't ever love those. So I used a different sort of instrumental song that was calming for cleanup. And if you've ever done the chaotic way, I think you're going to love this new way because it's such a good way to keep things calm all the way through to the end of that transition. So your new cleanup song is a calm version of any song. You can pick one that you like, or I've given you the link to the one that we used. We'll get to it in a second, but I gave you the song if you want to use the one that I did. So you hit play on your new cleanup song, and everyone will hear this little soothing tune that tells them it's time to start cleaning up. But unlike the other songs that are loud, and I don't know why most traditional cleanup songs make kids react like with a fury, and they start moving quickly and chucking stuff into baskets. Some kids might start flailing or like speed running in place. It's just bizarre what those cleanup songs can make kids do. But this song does the opposite. So when you turn this on, it's a calming song, and kids hear it and kind of notice, okay, time to start putting things back. And you know how every kid doesn't finish cleaning up at the same time? Like, boy, wouldn't that be nice? But since that doesn't happen, you're going to have a system in place. Now each kid finishes cleaning their center, and they come to the carpet and find a space on the big circle to practice balancing, like tightrope walking. And when you introduce this to your students, you teach them a few specific skills to be successful. So here are a few specific things you want to make sure to teach them, and I've included them in a resource page that I'll show you in 1 second. First, you model what it looks like to balance on the line, walking with your toe of one foot touching the heel of your other foot, and show them there's 2 ways that you can pick to hold your arms. You can do it straight out like a scarecrow or just down flat. You pick, totally, let them choose. They love that. And then let them know a little trick that putting their arms out will help them balance like an airplane. So in the beginning, it's going to be hard for them to balance and stay on the line and walk the way that you're showing them. But the more they practice it, the better they'll get. And it's up to them to choose how they want to hold their arms, but they're all walking calmly with their feet, touching the toe and heel. And maybe they'll switch their arms back and forth, and that's fine too. If you have shelves close by, make sure to teach them how to move your arms out of the way so that you don't hit the furniture. So you model for them and let them try it out. Make a big deal about how great they are at doing this tricky maneuver. Wow, nice job. Did you see how his arm didn't even hit those markers that are on the shelf right there? That was so awesome. Thank you for being so careful. You didn't knock anything over. And then after you've had a few kids model and they're doing it well, you want to teach them how to join the balancing line the right way. Because once you have all the kids on the line, you'll see that the line isn't really a line anymore because there's no first or last. It turns into a circle. But kids will naturally want to join right behind another kid. And you have to teach them that the best place to join is an open space. You don't want to rush up and get right behind someone. You want to find an open space where you can start balancing without being right on someone's toes. And then you have a few kids help you model what this looks like. And once they start to get the hang of this, you'll teach them one more thing before you practice with everyone. You want to talk about what happens when you get really close to the person in front of you, because it will definitely happen. At times, you may be close to someone in front of you. At other times, you might be close to someone and have someone right behind you. But anytime that you're close to someone, just remember to be patient, give them space. If you have someone right in front of you, you should slow down a little bit so that you don't step on their feet. You need to watch and make sure that you notice how they're moving so that you don't crowd them. And you can have a student come up and help you with this, have them walk in front of you and practice what it looks like to be balancing behind them without smushing them, without stepping too close to their feet. Show them what a good distance is to keep from the person in front of you. You want to stay back a few steps and then have 2 kids practice walking close together and talk about what the group notices about how they do it. And then let them all know that sometimes you'll have more space and sometimes you'll be close together with people, and that's fine. We're all balancing at our own speed or pace or rate. And that's how it's supposed to be. But no matter what, you're never supposed to touch anyone this whole time. You're doing your own balancing, keeping your hands to yourself. And I already know we're going to be so good at this. I cannot wait to watch everybody practice. Are you guys ready? And then you make sure you stagger them so that when you're practicing this with the whole group, you have all the kids stay at their spot in the middle of the carpet and call them up a few at a time to join that balancing line, and then invite a few more, and so on. And again, remind them, find an open spot, because their natural reaction is going to be to go right behind somebody that they see walking. So make sure to spend some time putting emphasis on finding your own space. And if someone's having trouble following the expectations, or maybe they're touching people or touching the furniture as they're passing it, just have them come sit with you and watch their friends for a minute, point out who's doing it nicely, and then ask if they're ready to try it again. And your whole class should get it down pretty quickly. And you want to remind them every single day when we practice doing this that we are getting better at balancing. And by the end of the year, we're going to be like real tightrope walkers. Maybe read a book to them that has a tightrope walker in it. I love the book down at the bottom of the screen, The Man Who Walked Between the Towers. Whatever way you want to use books, or, just motivating them and making it real, applying it to something else, making them feel like a tightrope walker. But the goal is to motivate them, and you want them to take it seriously and get better at this important skill. Maybe tell them how important balance is and how you will use it for lots of things. And the better you are at balancing, the better you'll be at sports, in PE class. Balancing is really a way to show how strong you are. You can't balance very well if you aren't strong. So the more we practice it, the stronger we're going to get. And we know kids love hearing how to get strong. Resource alert. In your resource book, there's a cleanup song link, so you can hear the song that I used. And you can also choose any of those calm songs on that morning mood playlist. And then there's space here for some notes if you want to remember anything that we just went over. I also made another resource sheet. This is kind of cluttered with words, but I think it'll help you. This is like, you just have this right with you when you're teaching your kids about this strategy. So it walks you through all the important things to remember and be able to introduce it very smoothly. So make sure to use that with you on your clipboard or whatever when you're talking to your kids about how this is all going to work, and they're going to love it. Here's a photo of my kids practicing their balancing skills on the playground. They took the skill that we work on every day during cleanup and found a fun new way to keep working on it. So I love seeing that. And we're already at the recap of phase 3. We're moving fast. So this phase was all about establishing systems and routines in order to promote a calm environment and eliminate your own stress. So in this phase, we learned the power of choices, how to set the morning mood, strategic seating control, and the importance of movement, and then the great cleanup time tip. So pat yourself on the back, enjoy a glass of wine or coffee or tea. Black cherry White Claw is my go-to. But since I'm pregnant, I can't celebrate with you right now, but you're done with phase 3. This is a big moment, and you've been taking in a lot of my rambling. I hope you're not sick of hearing me talk yet, but we still have a lot of fun ahead. Phase 4 is going to fill your tool belt with secret strategies that are going to make you so proud of your students. So get ready to empower your kids with skills so that you can sit back and relax and enjoy being a happy and calm teacher. Cheers to you. See you in phase 4.